so-called liberals, they go, well, Alex, there are too many people. like they're part of the system. I was like, yeah, I noticed you're 35 years old. You and your wife are trying to have a kid for 5 years. Who listens to all this propaganda about not having children? It's the best and brightest. See, they'll kill off the poor and the people they think are, quote, subhumans later. The real people they want to kill, the real apple of their eye they want to dumb down, are people that come from good families. You can be black, you can be Indian, you can be white, you can be Jewish, you can be German, they don't care. They are chronicling in the schools through computerized actuaries. The teachers don't even know what they're looking at. Oh, that little boy there, he's a leader. He raises his hand too much. He won't shut up. You know, we don't let him play dodgeball to get out of his energies anymore. So he jumps around, and we're giving him all this Coke and you know, all these sugar drinks. We won't get him off sugar drinks, all this unhealthy stuff. We're just going to put you on Adderall that shrinks the size of your brain, swells your heart, and retards your growth, and will lower your IQ. We're going to give you Ritalin, son. They target, and I've had the former head of policy in the Department of Education on, who released thousands of pages and put a book out, Liver Dumbing Down, Charlotte Iserby, where she was openly in meetings in the 80s, where they talked about, we've got to target men, leader men, and we've got to dumb the hell out of them. Because we're not going to be able to get this operation through if we do that. And that's another point I want to make about feminism. There have been ancient cultures of suppression. There have been many forms of tyranny. And there have been many systems run by tyrannical women and many systems run by tyrannical men. But at the end of the equation, you have to realize that a man is not the human species. A woman is not the human species. The man and the woman form to make our species. Just like the DNA is intertwined, men and women are intertwined. And the minute that they can break that bond between men and women, the minute they can train us to fight with each other, because the women have been trained to be floozies, the men have been trained to be lazy, sports addicts, scum. They've already fried our economy. They've already fried our society. They've already screwed us up really bad, but don't worry, they've always got the answer to fix it. And that's break up the family more. They want to isolate all of us. Families aren't perfect. There's a lot of problems out there. But at the end of the day, the globalist family is scientifically coming after our individual human family so they can corner us. So they can corner us by ourselves. If you go back 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 years ago to humans anywhere in the world, cornered, surrounded by wild animals in the night, but together they had strength. But if you were a cave bear or that saber-toothed cat I was talking about, if you could get a human, the strongest male, the weakest child, if you could get them alone, what's going to happen? Dinner time. Dinner time. So you better find some family, even if it's not your genetic family. You better find people that have the same mindset, the same understanding, the same spirit. You better get with people, and because that's the most valuable thing going into this contrived, controlled depression, is to have people you can count on who are of the same mind and accord, who will stand together against this evil. That is the most important thing. And that's why they divide us on sex, they divide us on race, they divide us on religion, they divide us on every front so we can be isolated and controlled by this system. But it is through unity against their tyranny that we have victory. They atomize. They divide and conquer our society and then go, oh, look at all this disunity. We've got unity. You didn't have a daddy at home? Join the big gang in the sky, the military. Join the big gang in the sky, the police. We'll give you a gang mentality. Police will read the gang handbook. Shut up, look at yourself. This is how they set it up. You didn't have a daddy at home? Now you're going to have a daddy. He's your sergeant. But this daddy's going to tell you to put uranium's good for you. This daddy's going to tell you vaccines full of poisons are good. This daddy is going to tell you having biological weapons tested on you is good. Because this daddy's dumbed down ignorant too. But the big daddies up on top, they know exactly what they're doing. So the state destroys our culture, destroys our humanity, removes the basic moorings of what it is to be a human, and the basic rituals and rites that we all want to go through. They destroy all those rights in their natural position in our local area, in our family, and they give us false rights, false rituals of being a human. And they take us through those false rituals, and people are given a false counterfeit fulfillment. Is this making sense? But it doesn't matter if you don't have a family. It doesn't even matter if you don't have friends. You've got the instincts, you've got the guts, you've got the hard wiring that God put into you, and you've got a family of billions of our ancestors that go before us and billions of our progeny that go after us. And in that, you have unlimited strength the minute you tap into it. So the globalists are on their ultimate power trip, and they think they've got it all won. But now we see fear in their eyes. Not just fear of us, though. I've talked to some very high-level globalists off the record. People say, well, still who they are. Well, if I did that, I would break my journalistic code if somebody says this is off the record. That's why they talk to me. The police send me secret government documents where they're trying to confiscate our guns, and I put it out in the next national news. People say, well, tell us your stories, even after it's admitted to be real documents. Oh, yeah, tell me. I'll tell you the source so they never talk to me again. Yeah, I'll blow my confidence and my integrity for you. That's another lie. But I've talked to people at some of the highest levels. I mean, an example is Rothkopf. This is on record, so I can talk about it. The former head of the Kissinger Group. I got a call from his office about 3 years ago. He didn't come back on after one visit, I'll tell you. And he came on to explain to me how world government was good, and how there's 6,000 global managers for the elite. Now they have the whole plan, and I should join with it. And he was giving me this great opportunity. This is on air. This is on air. Don't you want power? You know, because we're not perfect, but we're the best there is. If you ever try to enlighten this rabble, they won't know what to do. You know, you're smart. You see what's going on. You ought to be with us. You ought to have disdain for the general public. And that's basically was his message. And now I talk to people, and I talk to others that know folks at the highest levels. I talked to a medical doctor who's treated several heads of state. And let me tell you something, as they arrive at their final agenda, as they come to the edge of the cliff, as they get up there looking at the plunge they're about to take, like they're up on a 300-foot railroad trestle above a river, as they look down on what they're about to do, the globalists are not so much freaked out about us waking up. Because even though we've been dumbed down, we have an instinct that we're in danger. They tell you, you're freaked out inside because guys in turbans. We're like, no, we're freaked out because of you. Our God knows that. But the globalists aren't so much freaked out about us. They are to a certain extent. But we're a side issue to a certain extent. They're freaked out by their own agenda. They've schemed this, they've planned this, they've gotten all the way up to this point. And now, they're about to take the plunge. All of the millions and millions killed with the soft kill weapons. All the wars, the million dead Iraqis, the DU. You know, let's give it to the troops, let's have them use it. We'll test and see if it comes out, we'll kill them. We'll give them the H1N1 and kill and maim all these people. And so what if it happened last year and they got exposed? We'll do it again this year. So what if the British Medical Journal comes out? A lot of them put themselves on the line to go public. So what if even the EU Health Commission and Wolfgang Woodard, the doctor, goes public? So what if it comes out it's deadly? We just got to start testing it. We've got to start doing it. And a lot of their own people are saying, you mean this isn't to save the earth? It's eco-fascism? You want to kill everybody? You're putting ads on TV showing children being murdered for the earth? You mean we're really going to do this? I don't think I feel so safe being with you people. I kind of like, going to the Hollywood meetings and being cool. I kind of like big cities full of people. I kind of like the way things are. But the higher level Luciferians above them are saying, this program is inalterable. Full steam ahead. Hey, I see Sheriff Mack over there. You going to speak to me? Dr. Stan Monteith, Sheriff Richard Mack, and others. But will you come speak in a minute? Okay, yeah, I want you to, absolutely. Hey, it's great. I come out to Santa Cruz, Dr. Stan Monteith, Sheriff Richard Mack. But again, going back to an example, instead of getting all this super deep stuff, just a basic thing of an example of what one man on the right can do when he keeps on coming. Sheriff Richard Mack, I don't know, 15 years ago, wherever it was, they were having gun cases where they were taking people's guns who hadn't even committed a crime. He went all the way to the Supreme Court and won. It was a landmark case. And Sheriff Richard Mack did that. And, you know, since then, he's been on my show many times. He has a best-selling book that is, instead of fighting with police, we're going to them and saying, do you want to be part of the sacred honor and true duty to defend the Republic? Going to sheriffs, going to others and saying, here is your oath. Here's what it's really all about. You represent the people. You represent the county. You don't represent the offshore banks that have taken over our nation. And just the work he's done from 10, 15 years ago, talking to crowds of 20 people and talking to crowds of 3, 4, 5,000 or more, to having a huge effect and having police 10 years ago in Austin giving me dirty looks to every time I'm in Austin, even when I'm being bad and speeding. They probably shouldn't, but they let me off for it. So it's not good. To having police try to buy me dinner when I'm in restaurants and come up and shake my hand. Again, a lot of that is because of oath keepers, people like Sheriff Richard Mack and others that have really because at the end of the day, that's the illusion. The police are with us, the people, even if they've been lied to and somehow think of themselves as part of the system. The system is going to take their pension funds, just like what's happening in Europe right now. The system doesn't give a damn about them. The system's going to hang them out to dry the minute it can. Only when the police stand with the people and the elected representatives of this republic are they peace officers and defenders of the republic. And now I give you a defender of the republic, Sheriff Richard Mack.
I was just here a week ago, right, Dr. Monteith? Wow, I didn't know I was going to be here today. The Lord surely moves in mysterious ways, doesn't he? Actually, Alex and I have become very good friends, but this is the first time we've ever met in person. And it's always really great. So make sure somebody takes a picture of us later on. And I came in with Joe Bannister. Joe Bannister.
And the guy that just had me here a week ago, we talked about him. Dr. Monteith, you have to stand up, make sure you wave at everybody, make sure they know where you are. How do you follow that? Yeah, Alex Jones, wow. The first thing that comes to my mind is, I'm not worthy. But I sure appreciate all of your support a great deal. And this has been really a whirlwind tour. I can't even remember where I've been the last 3 weeks. All I know is I haven't been home. And my wife reminded me of that. I was actually supposed to fly home tonight. We found out about your event here, and we postponed going home, and we came here to be with you good people. There are lots of solutions, but I think the most powerful one to do what Alex said, to keep this peaceful, is we've got to have our law enforcement and sheriffs on board with us. Yes. They've got to be on our side. And so I'm doing everything I can to educate them and to get them on board with doing one little thing, being an oath keeper. Back when I was sheriff, I decided that